Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, my name is Karina, also known as OMGlashes here on the YouTube. Today's video is going to be so much fun. Today we're doing a dupes video. I've never done anything like this where I do like half of my face drugstore and half of my face high-end, but that's what we are doing today. So I want you guys to take a good look because everything on this face is full of dupes. I want you guys to stop and let me know what side you think is drugstore and then what side you think is the expensive side. So take a look. Are you ready with your decision? Go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below because I love reading those. They are the best. So with that said, I know this video might be a little bit long, so let's jump right into it. So first things first, let's prime our skin. Now I know that there's hundreds of dupes out there and I know that I've done a video comparison, but these might be the only ones that are similar to each other that I really find to be like super hella dupes. This is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick for $36 and this one is the e.l.f. Prep and Blur Stick for only $8. On the right side of my face, I'm going to do the drugstore affordable version, and then on the left side, we're going to be doing the high-end, more expensive version. Now let's move on to the left side, and this is where we're applying the Makeup Blur Stick. Let's move on to foundation. I'm actually really nervous about this one because I don't know what the results are going to be like. These two foundations that Pinterest claims to be dupes to one another, I've never really put two and two together, but now that I'm seeing them in front of me, I'm like, they do look pretty similar on my skin. On the left hand side, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD in the shade Y405. And on my right side, for a drugstore alternative, I am using the L'Oreal Paris True Match Super Blendable Makeup in the shade W7. I have a feeling my face is going to look two-toned because I think this one's really dark for me, but we'll see. I like to call myself a beauty blender snob. I love the beauty blender. I don't think anything really compares to it, but there is one sponge. This is the Beauty Blender by Beauty Junkies and comes in a pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this side with this beauty blender and then the high-end side with the actual beauty blender. So beauty sponge, beauty blender. Okay, let's see how this turns out. I'm really nervous, you guys. I just feel like the shades are totally different. So there we have one side of the face, and then let's go ahead and try this baby on. Oh my god, guys, I'm gonna look so funny. Yeah, this one's like really dark on me. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get another one of these shades because I really like this foundation. It's just way too dark for me. So there it is. I mean, besides the obvious color difference, I think they both look pretty good on the skin. They both have like a medium coverage. Let's move on to concealer. I'm sure you guys know on this side of my face, I'm going to use obviously the Tarte Shape Tape in medium. And on this side, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. But if you guys have been looking for another dupe for the Shape Tape, another really good one is also the one BH Cosmetics, their new concealers in their squeezy tube. It is so full coverage, and it's literally the same thing as the, oh my god, Tarte Shape Tape for pretty much half of the price. There's our concealer. Can you guys tell a difference? Because I cannot. So next we want to make sure that we set our eyes with powder. Now, this dupe, I actually discovered it maybe last year. I didn't find it on Pinterest, like these two together, but this powder is highly duped. It is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. Everybody and their mother loves this except me. Just kidding. I do like it. I just don't think it's worth the price when I know that I have so many other setting powders that are literally the same thing. But the one that I feel is very close with texture, color, the way it feels, the way it says, is the Kokie Cosmetics Translucent Setting Powder. So let's do the high-end side, which is the Laura Mercier. So next up, we're going to be contouring. Now, I wanted to show you two dupes. I wanted to show you a contour palette than an actual individual bronzer, because I feel like those are very two different things. So for today's dupe, we are duping the ever so famous Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And the dupe that I have for you guys is the Kokie Cosmetics Powder Contour Palettes. I mean, the resemblance is uncanny, pretty much like same size, same shape. Let's go ahead and dig into the Kat Von D palette. I usually like to mix all three shades onto the Kokie palette. So again, just mixing all three shades. Now, word on the street has it that the NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium is an exact dupe for the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil Deep Tan Matte Bronzer. I've had this one for so long, and I saw this on Pinterest. I was like, I wonder if it's true. So let me do first a swatch. So there is the bronzer from Too Faced. Yep, they're pretty much the same thing. I'm going to take this brush from Walmart, and I'm just going to do it on both sides. For the eyebrows, on my right hand side, I am going to be using my favorites ever, which is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil in the shade Blackest Brown. And then on my left side, I'm going to use the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. They're pretty much exactly the same thing, exact color. They both are super pigmented. They both blend very easily. So there you have it. Right hand side, LA Girl. Left hand side, the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. I mean, I think they look pretty similar. So let's move on to eyeshadow. I actually have two palettes that I wanted to dupe. I feel like Anastasia is one of the top brands to always be duped. So I have the Modern Renaissance right here. Yes, my freaking perro chuted. Can you guys see this? Oh, girl, I about murdered him when I saw this. For the right side, I have the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Iconic Palette in the shades Vitality, or this is the Vitality palette. I do have another Anastasia palette. This is the Subculture one. And then for the right side is another Makeup Revolution palettes. This is in Division. So I'm going to start on this side, which is the Makeup Revolution palette. I'm going to take this shade right here, which is the peach shade that is similar to the Anastasia one, and the shade Roxy. I'm gonna pick up another brush because I have two of these, thank God. And let's pick up Roxy. So now that I'm seeing them side by side, there is quite a bit of difference. This one is a lot more pigmented than this side. But if I go back and pack on the color, I know that I can achieve pretty much the same look. Let's move on to the next shade. I really want to use All Star, which is this one right here. And we have a problem. So there's two shades on the Makeup Revolution palette, which are these two purple ones. Yeah, none of them match. So this is All Star by the ABH palette, and these two are the ones from this palette. So I don't know how we're gonna make this work. I'm thinking that I'm gonna use this shade and just pack it on as much as I can. So fingers crossed. I'm just gonna use that same brush and work on this eye. Okay, so obviously once you actually put palettes side by side, that's when you can notice the difference. This side is way darker, which is the Anastasia palette, and then this is the Makeup Revolution. I try to make it as dark as possible, but that's as much as we're gonna get. So we're gonna move on to the next shade. I am going to take Fudge from the ABH palette, which is just a really pretty brown. And then I'm gonna take the Makeup Revolution palette and take this shade right here. For my lid shade, I'm going to take Electric on the Anastasia palette. And we're going to take this shade from that palette. So there it is. Wow, I'm actually impressed. This one is a tiny bit more green. Again, this is the Anastasia versus this one. It doesn't have as much bright green undertones, but it's still probably one of the closest shades out of all the ones that I've used so far. So I cheated a little bit and I just did the lower lash line, popped on some lashes off camera because I don't own any like high-end, like super expensive lashes. I don't do that. I stick with like $15 or less, honey. Now for highlights, I am so excited for this one because this is a highlight that is not available anymore. I think it is sold out. Now they're not exact dupes, but they're so similar, so similar. They're like a hair difference. The Dose of Colors Desi X Katie highlight in the shade Mirame. This is the one by Desi. Now the one that I'm going to show you guys is by Give Me Glow Cosmetics in the shade Golden Peach. This is a foiled finish. So as you can see, like holding them up to each other, they're not very similar. This one's literally a peach highlight, but when you swatch them, they're pretty similar. Top one is Mirame by Dose of Colors, and the one on the bottom is the Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I'm going to take my favorite highlighting brush, which is this one by Up and Up. Apply the affordable highlight on here. And then let's take Mirame. Literally when you put them on the skin, like this is the peach one. This is Mirame. Can you guys tell a difference? They both, I feel like they both look very similar once applied on skin. Spent I don't know how long trying to figure out what lipstick I should wear. So I think I'm gonna go with this one, which is kind of like an old one. Everybody knows about it. It is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Lolita, and we are duping it with the NYX Liquid Suede and Soft Spoken. Oh, they are very similar. The only difference is that I think this side, the NYX one, doesn't dry down to a complete matte. And here it is. This is the final look on this full face of dupes. What do you guys think? I am so happy with like the whole outcome of this look. I just think it's gorgeous. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It helps me so much when you guys do that. Don't forget to join the Honey team by subscribing down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.